Well, good morning, guys. Welcome to Words from a Friend podcast. I'm your host, Marty Carey, and this is the podcast that follows my book, Words from a Friend, a daily guide to a purposeful life. It's available at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. We're on a 365-day inner journey together, so happy and grateful to have you along. We are on day 56 of that journey, and it is February 26th. Today's message is kind of a short one. It's called Brighter Glasses. Brighter Glasses. The ego only wants us to see the darkness in ourselves and in others. This is why it is our duty and purpose to seek the light and be the light for ourselves and in others. Our true self, our ego self lies to us every day. Every day. We all have a liar within, isn't telling us the truth. And those are the ones we have to overcome. And those are why we spread the light on it and say, what is this? What am I doing to myself? What the heck am I doing to myself? Right? That's the inner journey. You got to know yourself. Know thyself. Right? Know thyself so that you can know others in a new way, in a higher way. You know, lots of times we just think we got to just trudge through life and do the best we can with what we got and all this other stuff. Well, there's actually a beautiful formula for creating your life. And I talk about it as the formula. Better thoughts, better words, better actions. That's it. That's the formula. And you have to be consistent about it every day because the ego will take you off your game. Because others can take you off your game if you're off your game inside. If you are not the master of your domain. All right? You got to be the master of your domain. Your house. Okay? You've got to make sure that you don't let that clutter of other people's energy in there. We can absorb other people's energy, and like I say, we carry it as our own. All of a sudden, we're mad because somebody came in with angry energy, right? We're angry at them for bringing that in, and then we're angry, and then we're carrying it forward. We're carrying their mindset with us. No. Nope, you got to slough that off. Really, it's really about more or less being your own shield of light, you know, your own beautiful ship of light that stuff can't penetrate because you got yourself. You got yourself. You know that person isn't going to be able to take you off your game because they're in a bad way. If anything, you have a shot to get them out of their nasty self. You know, you got a shot at doing that because you're centered and you say, okay, I can probably help this out a little bit. And if I can't, time to move on. Time to move on, right? So that's basically using your brighter glasses and saying, that ain't looking too bright. Can I help it? And if I can't, I stay bright. I stay bright. Okay? And you never know, that seed you may have dropped that you think was a passerby. Wasn't. People can think about that stuff later and go, Yep, absolutely. So don't doubt the seeds you plant, even though you think they're worthless with people. They're not. They're not. Okay. You cannot bring someone out of the darkness if we choose to live there ourselves. You know, that's misery loves company. You know, misery loves company. Sure does. But that's just saying, well, yeah, you know, like the ailment talk show. Everyone's comparing their ailments. Who's got it worse? Who's got it worse? You know, that's how we talk ourselves out of our true self. That's how we talk ourselves out of alignment. Out of healthy thoughts, out of healthy words, out of healthy actions. You know, well, the doctor said I may have this, so I definitely know I have it. Right? It's the first place the ego wants to go is, oh, definitely. If someone said something, it must be true. No, man, no. You got to be independent of the, you know, opinions of others, thoughts and opinions of others. You can hear them, and if you hear some nugget in there that you think is worth it, well, there you go. But most of the time, it's a lot of blather. There's lots of blather out there. So that's why you spend your time in the higher way, so that you're enjoying life, and you're enjoying life with people who understand how to enjoy life, rather than get stuck in the mud with garbage thinking, garbage living. You can't. Don't get stuck there. There's more. There's much more. There's a lot more in that you of you than you're aware of. Okay? And if you're out and you're doing that stuff now, you already know what I'm talking about. You already know it, that you're trying to live life to the fullest. You're not trying. If you're doing it, you're doing it. You're not trying. You're doing. You're living it. Right? You're living. instead of just watching other people live, right? Watching other people live and judging them for how they live. Just go out there and live yourself. It's your time. This is your time. Don't waste it watching other people live or worrying about how other people live. You got this time to live. If something nasty comes in your way, you'll know how to deal with that at a higher level. You just will. That's the way you walk, and that's the way you believe, and that's the way you trust, and you walk in faith and not by just sight, right? That's what we do. We start walking from the inside out rather than, like I said, living life from the outside in, and the dictates of what everybody tells us we should be, what we should look like, what we should do, how much we should make or how much we should have. All of those things, other people's opinions. That's it. You are the commander of your ship. You know what's best for you. And if you want to seek higher ways, there is the higher thought way, because higher thoughts, they produce higher energy and higher words and higher actions, thus a higher quality life. The life quotient, you're raising your own life quotient, right? You're doing more things, you're having more smiles on your face because you're starting off with giving to yourself in the morning. Say, these are my intentions for the day. And if your intentions are to give outwardly your good stuff, well, that's your mission. You're going to do it whether there's curmudgeons around you or not, because it's for you. They benefit from your light, but it's for you that you bring it, because when you bring it, you're in it. You're in it. You don't have to wait for other people to bring it. You become it yourself. And when you're low, when you feel low, there's something going on in your life, there's going to be lots of light showing up for you because you showed up for them as your main mission in life. Okay? You showed up. You showed up. But you got to show up for yourself first and foremost. And the way you do that is trusting the light, trusting God, and learning to grow closer in your relationship to that trust and that faith. And that is a muscle that you have to work on every day. It's part of your day. Just part of your day. Like anything, a shower, shaving, just part of your day is your intentions. And then live them out. Make them, at the end of the day, that you're satisfied with how you work, how you walked that day. I want to be satisfied with how I walked today. And if I am not satisfied with how I walk today, I will walk better tomorrow, and I will do whatever it takes to make amends for anything that I may have, got out of control with or something, whatever that is today. You keep yourself free that way. You keep your energy flowing that way in self-correction, self-upgrade, moving forward, harmony, peace, upliftment. That's the higher way. You use it as your vehicle. You use it as your vehicle, and then you discover that is me. That is my vehicle. In all of eternity, that's been my vehicle. In this place, it's harder. The earth is not an easy school. Being a human is not an easy school. It's not, right? But so when we do it, we're like, we got to be the master of our own class. We are the project. We are that senior project at school. We're it, right? We are the thesis. We are the whatever we create at the end. To the end, we're what we create in ourselves. And we could recreate that. We can be a Renaissance person. We can be a Renaissance person where we just go, all right, I'm tearing down this, like you're moving from a 70s house into a 2000s, beyond house, right? It's just you updated and upgraded this, by this, for this, and with this. It's all the same energy that you use as your vehicle. It's love. We call it different things, We call it happiness and laughter and joy and satisfaction, and we use it in determination and perseverance and the giddy up and the get back up. That's the energy. That's the brighter. That's putting on the brighter glasses and believing that you can. You can fulfill what's in those brighter glasses because you're already it. The rest are the lies you just have to overcome about yourself, about other people, jealousy, envy, all that stuff, being scammy, whatever those things are that you need to drop so that you can rise up into who you really want to be, who you really are, who you really are. Most importantly, you're the light. Okay, wield it and you'll see how powerful you are. Wield your light. Ego has had its day. We're leaving that world. We're leaving it. Leave it in yourself. Tame that ego until it just follows whatever your soul wants to do. It follows along because it knows that it's given up trying to convince you of all these lower things. It's given up because you go, no, I remembered who I am. Sorry, false self. I remembered. Okay? Everything that you grew up, there's so much good stuff in there that you grew up with. You got to amplify that stuff. Those good memories, those good times, those good energies. That's your amplification. Ego wants you to amplify negativity. Ego wants you to amplify your earthly self so it becomes chaotic and not knowing what to do, in fear, right? All that stuff, it's an energy. And we can change our state. Remember? Shift. The shift. And we're making a big shift this year. The world is making a big shift this year. It looks messy. But it's like the messiness of a bad relationship. The end of it, right? But once you get out of that bad relationship, that toxic one, you go, all right. The air here is so much better. It's so much better because you're no longer entangled in ego world and all the chaos of it. You are the living proof that the new world is coming and can exist. You are an example, a way shower, an usher, a maitre d' of the new way. Be that. Okay? That's just you shining your best way. It is that. And it may not be simple at first because you've been entangled in so much crap or with people that have so much crap. And then it's just like, I want better for myself. I want better for my energy. I want better for that. Okay? So I have to make some adjustments here and there. Got to do it. It's all right. It's okay to rise. It's okay to live in peace. It's okay to live in harmony. Not only okay, it's mandatory if you want a good life. It's mandatory. So that's why you master your own self so that you can enjoy it. You can actually enjoy the ride as much as possible. There's that earthly stuff, but you can enjoy that ride so much more when you enjoy living in this. Much more. Okay? That's what personal development is for. It's personal. You're giving yourself the love you've needed for so long that you're waiting for other people to give you. You're giving it to yourself. Bravo. It's what your soul has been waiting for you to accept in yourself. That you are love, and you're lovable, and you're all of those things when you drop the mask of the false self. And learn what that is so that you can peel off those a little more every day. So just reveals light, more of your light naturally. Expands. It expands and it attracts beautiful things back into your world. Beautiful things, beautiful, victorious things. And it creates beautiful days, beautiful memories. That's the beautiful memory creator, is your heart and what you decide to make your life meaningful. We make it meaningful. You have a blank slate. What are you going to do with that blank slate? Like I said, the Etch-a-Sketch. What are you drawing on your Etch-a-Sketch today, right? And then you shake out this stuff, and then you create a new day tomorrow, but you make it a little better. Do a little better. Look at that self from yesterday and say, you know what? I can make that a little better in myself. And you're just working on yourself. You don't have to tell anybody about it. You just do it and just become it. Move into it. All right? Put on your brighter glasses and you will see it's different. It's just different. It's, like I say, it's coming home. Okay. True prosperity and wealth come from a natural place within us all. And when you choose to give this away freely in our daily lives, it only grows and expands. Never bury your talents and dreams. Always give what you want to and need for yourself. Everything you need is held in love. Everything you want is held in love. Everything. That's why we move close to it. That's why we decide to embody it as our natural way. It's just, how you treat people better and you're treated better. That's just it. That's the circle of love. Treat those how you want to be treated. Talk to those how you want to be talked to. Right? It's going to be kindness. It's going to be laughter. It's going to be happiness that you want coming out of those lips, if that's what you want coming back. But if you want strife, you want all this other stuff, it's plenty of it out there for you. Just speak the tone, and it will come to you. It's like a dog whistle for negativity is the ego. Whoo, I'm buzzing negative. Let's have all the crap come in. Calling all crap. Gotta watch that. You're attracting, what you don't want by embodying what you don't want in here. Okay? That's the gift you're giving to yourself this year, is beginning to embody more and more and more of your light, your true eternal self, and having that take over as the pilot of this temporary ship, this carcass we're living in. This carcass. Okay, it's a beautiful carcass, and you got to keep it running on good energy. Good energy. So you got to surround yourself with it. You got to be it. And then there you go. You're creating Shangri-La energy wherever you go. You're creating Shangri-La energy, I call it. You're the place that you want to be. Cool people, cool vibe. What's a better life than that? Nature, simple, simplicity. You don't need all the things you think you need. The needs of the soul are very simple, and most of them are free. Free. That's it. So you can be free. And when you're more free in your mindset, you'll feel more free to enjoy those things. What you focus on and put your mental and or physical energy towards always grows. Positive or negative. Positive or negative. You keep focusing on that negative thing. You're just adding negative frosting to that negative cake. You got to stop dwelling there. You got to reverse that. You got to shift course. You got to shift yourself. You got to shift yourself into a creative mode. The creative mode of creating something the exact opposite of what your ego wants you to continue to create for yourself. It's called a bad habit of thinking. Bad habit of ways that don't really work. You think they may have worked in the past. But in this new world, it's kindness rules the day. Kindness rules the day. So you can't be Mr. Spacely from the Jetsons. You can't, You got to come at it with a different energy. And you're not going to have the harmony that you seek. You've got to be that. Be that which you seek. Okay? All right. Make sure you spend each day and every day focused on the positive and moving forward with good things, good thoughts, good deeds, and good actions. Everything else takes care of itself when you're rewarded with the great relationships and an extraordinary life. It works every time because you're walking in it. Yeah, there's going to be the earthly stuff. Yes, okay? That's part of acceptance. It's going to be there. What are you taking to it? What are you taking to it? It can't be resistance all the time. No. You learn to alchemize it, move on. Alchemize it, move on. Alchemize it, move on. Which means it's 90% on the solution, 10% on the problem. You hear the problem, you go, okay, well, it's love that's needed here. Well, it's obvious. It's always the solution. But how? Because, it's a mishmash of ego right now. When nobody really wants that after the skirmish. Nobody really wants that energy. Nobody wants it living inside them. They're like, I wish that never happened. I just ate a big piece of negative cake, and I feel like I've got, gluten issues from negativity. My stomach feels bad from it. Okay? We all go through that. We all go through those things. Release valve, honest apology, beautiful forgiveness, and the energy is clear. Free to move forward. Free to not carry that negativity inside anymore because you let it go. You have the key. You have the key to releasing all that drama that comes, but lots of times ego says, store that in there for war, for later, so I can use that later. I'm storing that one for war. That's what the ego wants. Ego always looking for a fight. and it's always looking to build up its arsenal. When that war comes, you don't ever have to have that war come. If you end that war inside yourself, nope. Anybody wants to come to your door with that war, they're not going to find much. They're not going to find much there. They're going to find that they're shooting at themselves. They're going to find that they're shooting at themselves. It's their own energy that's going to shoot back at them. You know, so you're that's why you say you're divinely guided, right? Just guide me in that peace, because if I walk that way, and if I give from that place, I'm sure to have those things be about me all the time, around me, in my life, part of my life story, because that's what this soul decided to give and to make this human accomplish. Okay? That's a soul mission. The soul mission is saying yes to your soul, and, ego, thanks for what you taught me, and, it's a lot of contrast in there to what is the truth. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff I have to let go of and say, I no longer believe that about myself, and I no longer believe that about others, because I know what that pain is like, and I know that I've already hurt myself with it. I hurt myself with my own pain all the time, right? We all do that. So that's where you got to say, it's time to grow. Time to grow up. Time to grow up. Okay? And emotional maturity is a big part of that, because we just give into our emotions and then become them without ever examining what is a better way. We may not be taught a better way. That's what we were taught, how to react when something comes. React. Resist it. That's how to get rid of it. That just stokes the flame. Stokes the flame. That's why calm is your superpower. And you got to learn how to wield that calm in a way of awareness, self-awareness, and awareness of the truth, of where that 3D world is, and how you rise above it and see it for what it is, and you can move forward in a better way, right? Jesus, when he was on the cross, he said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Can you imagine that? He's up there nailed to a cross, and he's saying, forgive these people that are stabbing me with the spears. Well, that is the highest knowing, that he's not this body, that he is truly eternal, and he has the power to return in many different ways, not just physically, like most people are expecting him to return, but in our hearts, as the receiver of God's message, of his message, and then working from that, wielding from that to change this world, wielding from that sacred space instead of that earthly numbskull known as the ego. Okay? You're here to upgrade, my friend. All right. Actions. The CTA today is put on your brighter glasses and see the light. Everybody calls them rose-colored glasses. I've been accused of having rose-colored glasses on my whole life, and yet I never want to take them off, because the world is ugly enough as it is. And I'm not here to contribute to the ugly. I'm here to add to the light. And when we choose to do that as part of our personal sacred mission, then we found the fountain. We have found the Holy Grail. We found it. It's us, our eternal, beautiful self, our spirit, disguised as an individual human for a little while, all from the same family. Walk your life that way, and you'll be surprised. No, you'll be happy with what happens. You'll be very pleased with the walk you took. This is the one most traveled, like I always say, is the what you see on TV. Screw that. I'm not walking in that way. Nope, I'm walking God's way, which is just harmony, baby, as much as possible. Create it, be it, live it, share it. It's your most beautiful self. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, and much love and light. You know what to do. Spread that. Spread your wealth.